All right, we're back on the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. This is the post game show of Florida State, um, Miami. Uh, just kind of curious on how everybody's doing this evening. The phone number is at the bottom. If you don't catch it at the bottom, the number to call is 260-255-4069 if you want to call in. But also, disclaimer, if you call me with a unknown number, you will not get answered. So just FYI on that. Just figured I would give you that. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Let me get the live link retweeted here. Just bear with me while I get this going. All right, so there's that. We got that retweeted, but the phone lines are open. Miami gloating that they are back-to-back state champions. Phone line is open. If you want to call, get your call in. Number is at the ticker below. The number to call is 260-255-4069. But let's go over the box scores. Go over the box scores, see what we got going here. I'm sure the Florida State fans are not with it today. We'll get here. I guess Jimbo was tearful on his return to the Doak today. Just something of note there. Whatever. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they fired him, or he left, or it was just under some type of scrutiny. But as we look at the top performers in each category, Carson Beck ended up with 240 yards, 20 of 27, 4 touchdowns. Castellanos turns it over twice, 2 INTs. He goes 25 of 45. I don't know what else to categorize that. I don't know. Do I put the number on a banner? I guess I could. See if that visual aid helps people. Hold on one second. I will save that and I will show it. That is the call-in show number right there on the screen. That is the number. Castellanos was the leading rusher, 16 carries for 57 yards. Miami kind of struggled to run the ball. But Tony, 7 catches for 107, 2 touchdowns. Robinson was Florida State's leading scorer. It is what it is. I mean, Florida State ends up with more total yards, but at the end of the day, it's a detriment. It's a detriment to the overall common goal. Nobody really happy from what I seen. Norvell kicking that field goal at the end of the game like that. You wouldn't have. I'm not a big proponent of going for 2 when you think you need to go for 2. He should have just kicked the extra point. And then you end up getting that touchdown. You would have had 1 more point. So, yeah, whatever. Also, currently, I've got Cal and Duke on right now. I am double checking some things here. But yeah, the phone lines are open. If you want to call, go ahead and call now. This is the phone number 260-255-4069. If you want to call, get your call in. But on the team stat, Florida State turned the ball over 3 times tonight. You're not going to win many football games turning the ball over 3 times. So you can be as mad or sad or punch air as you want, but turning the ball over ain't gonna get it done. Miami 5 of 13 on third down. Florida State 7 of 16. Miami was 2 of 3 on fourth down. Miami 3 of 4. Time of possession relatively fairly equal. Going down the scoring plays, Florida State comes out, has a decent drive, kicks a field goal, 11 plays, 70 yards, and then here comes the touchdown slot. Carson Beck, 4-yard touchdown pass, 9 plays, 79 yards, and then off a turnover, 1 play, 44 yards, and then Miami scores 4 touchdowns in a row before Florida State gets on the board. I mean, the one thing that you kind of got to give Florida State credit for is they scored 19 fourth quarter points, for whatever that's worth to you. I know I'm not the utmost expert, so we'll leave the post game show in while I give my thoughts. I'll leave this up for an hour. If we get some calls, that'd be great. If we don't, I'll shut it down after an hour. So there's that, and we'll talk about some other findings that went on in the Big Ten today. So there's that. But the phone number, like I've said before, also hit that like and subscribe button. That helps us grow this platform as well. Really helps. Florida, or not Florida, but Miami, holding up a big sign as they're walking out towards their fans at the tunnel that says back-to-back state champs. That's just kind of what it is. Jimbo Fisher giving Carson Beck a butt tap. Like, good game. I think Carson Beck played really, really well, to be honest. Castellanos, it is what it is. Look, when Miami holds you scoreless for, what was that, 2.5, almost 3 quarters, they hold you scoreless. I don't know what else you want them to do. 20 incompletions, averaging 6 yards a play. They just couldn't run the ball, I don't think. Outside of Castellanos, they couldn't run the ball. Castellanos had more rushing yards than their backs combined. Fletcher for Miami was their leading back, 12 carries for 40 yards, but that's not the I don't really think that's the tale of the tape, to be honest. Miami ends up with 20 receptions collective throughout their wide receiving core for 241 yards. Castellanos spread the ball around a lot, but it didn't translate. But the turnovers are what kills you. I mean, seriously, that's what it is. Also, number to call, 260-255-4069 is the number to call. We can get into some other things, but I get it. Florida State fans are probably not happy, and that's just what it is. It's something you got to live with. Mike Norvell. Wow, that's really gruesome. Yeah, I'm just looking at some. Yeah, I'm just looking at some stuff. Texas A&M puts out a graphic, cowbell crushed. Don't know how appropriate that is. QC offensive specialist Josh Gaddis was fired up right before halftime with Collins. Then continued the conversation in a calmer manner on the way to the locker room. Yikes. Well, Josh Gaddis stinks. I will say that out loud. Ask Miami fans about Josh Gaddis and Speed and Space. I bet they have a lot to say. Michael Irvin after the game going postal about belt to ass. Oh man. And I will say that ooh, that's a rough take, Hannah Stevens. I'm just reading some of people's takes. Hannah Stevens, um, a Alabama reporter tweets, Arch Manning is the CFB version of Bronny James. Yikes. Mike Elko, shout out to the 12th man. They showed up once again. Also, in other news, we could talk about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be Florida State, Miami specific. If you want to call, get them in now. I'm going to leave this up for an hour. See what we get. Just that. Just looking at some other things that I have going. But the number to call is 260-255-4069 if you want to call. Go ahead and get your call in. There's the. Hold on, I am currently trying to do something. But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. I think Carson Beck, in my opinion, is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. To be honest, I don't know how he wouldn't be. So there's that. Sorry, I apologize. But the number on the screen is the number to call. We got Tigers, Mariners. We got Fresno State, Nevada. We got Cal, Duke, all live right now. But yeah, number to call 260-255-4069. So I guess they had snow today in Wyoming. Manziel was in Tuscaloosa today. Yes, in the other news too, Rick Neuheisel, Jerry is his name, I believe. Jerry Neuheisel, Rick Neuheisel's son, ends up getting probably the biggest win in 15 years at UCLA. Some people may argue that, but there's that. But also, UCLA gets that UCLA gets the giant victory. TCU, big victory. I think that game for TCU tonight was personal, in my opinion, from what I kind of gathered of it. I thought it was personal because Sonny Dykes and TCU kind of put Colorado on the map. It was Prime's opening game. The not like it was his opening game in at the Division I level, and then we have a sack there. That kid just got crunched. But interesting stuff. But I thought that game felt personal to me. Watching it, I thought that's kind of how it was going to go. I figured TCU was going to win. I thought TCU was the better team, to be honest. But we can run down some scores. We're not really doing anything. Nobody's calling, so I guess we'll do the a little bit of a post game today. They honored the 1985 national champions at Tulsa today. That's cool. Barry Switzer out there. Just looking at it, but we can run down through some scores, get some thoughts, what your guys' thoughts are. But the number you see at the bottom of the screen is the number to call, 260-255-4069. Just having a couple of this buds for you tonight, and we'll roll down some scores. We'll see what we got. It's kind of wild. They're showing players that grew up in California, and a kid is like 230 miles north of where Cal is tonight, and he's still in the state of California. Fascinating stuff. Riveting. We'll go down all of it. We got Duke right now. They're even keel against Cal. Cal came out like some world beaters. They've thrown some interceptions, turned the ball over. So we'll see what that is. Fresno State in the end zone again. Fresno State, they might win the Mount or whatever's left of the Mountain West. Ohio State beats Minnesota like a drum, 42-3. Buckeyes crush them. Obviously, Miami beats Florida State by 6. That game was a lot farther apart than what it seemed. Oklahoma crushes Kent State, the Golden Flashes. They got some dudes with some hard hats with light up Duke horns. Hey, more power to you, fellas. Get it how you live it, man. I ain't gonna judge you, but also, let's make sure we hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate people that are doing that. Also, the number to call, 260-255-4069, is the number to call. So there is that. Might do a NFL call-in show tomorrow. I don't know, depending on how I feel. Oklahoma rolls. Kent State. Although the Flashes got a win, I know Richie, or they didn't win today, but they got absolutely boat race, 44-0. A&M kind of puts it on in the fourth quarter. I think that this is one thing, a team that I kind of silently pull for, that I root for, is Mississippi State. I think Jeff Levy took over an abject failure when he got to Mississippi State. I don't think it was something that Rome was not built in a day when it comes to the Mississippi State coaching job. I think that what Jeff Levy had to do was completely bare bones restart a program. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching Norvell's press conference right now. I'm sure that's interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool. Lane Kiffin just posted a picture of his kid with Jackson Dart. But anyway, I think that Lebby took over a complete abject rebuild job. Um, oh yeah, big platform guy. Yeah, but anyway, I was just. Oh yeah, the press conference will resume shortly. I got like almost 5,000 people dying to hear what Mike Norvell's got to say. Dying. I think that I don't really know anybody on the Florida State beat or interacted with any of them. Very interesting. I was hoping there was. I was kind of hoping there was more. Um, how do I want to say it? I was hoping there was more information on the Mark Sanchez thing, but I guess now I guess we're not going to get any more information on that. That's just a fascinating story. Also, for all you folks watching on Twitter, you can come on over and join the YouTube. That always helps as well. I guess 247's doing instant reaction. Whatever. But then again, we're small potatoes over here. We're not even really a potato. We're just kind of a pebble. We're a seed. But yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, Penn State falls to UCLA. Is what it is. They are going to. I don't think the Penn State folk are going to take lightly to what we have going on up there. I would say Jim Knowles getting away from Dave wasn't the right move. But I think if Franklin gets fired, I think Knowles is retained probably regardless. He's probably top 5 defensive coordinator in college football. Probably top 3. I mean, the unit from last year to this year at Ohio State might be better. I'm not 100% sure on that. So, but yeah, the folks at Creepy Valley not real happy with James Franklin. So there is that. Also, if you are a different fan base, and this doesn't have to be strictly Florida State, Miami. You can call about any topic you'd like when it comes to college football. And I think he just fumbled that ball. Did he cough it up? We'll see. But yeah, that's just kind of where we're at. So, but yeah, Jerry Neuheisel, all the folks at UCLA stepping up and to the roles. They let some people go, some people left. So that's just what it is, man. I hate to say that's coaching. Mario Cristobal entering his press conference says, how about them Canes? Okay. lot of people saying, God bless Mike Norvell for the field goal. Yeah, all the people that bet Miami are loving that. But yeah, that's just kind of where we're sitting right now. But shout out to UCLA. I didn't think that they would get it done. I thought they were staring 0-12 in the face, but hey, if they go out there, this is my thing. I think that there's going to be so much change in the coaching industry this year, to the point to where I think that you're going to have so much turnover to where there's not going to be good candidates left, and I think people are going to have to overpay for it, if that makes sense. So there is that angle of it. I'm not shocked that Rick Neuheisel's kid goes out there and calls a hell of a game and wins it. He just beat a top 10 opponent. He's a year older than me. So kudos to him. Way to go, Jerry Neuheisel. I know a lot of people don't like Rick, but whatever, is what it is. Congratulations to him. And all the people that were working hard over there at UCLA, they lopped off Deshaun Watson's head, or not Deshaun Watson. Whoa, well, yikes. Deshaun Foster, wrong last name. So there's that. Have that going on. So I think as long as they keep it pushing, they'll be all right at UCLA. They may not win as many games as they want. I mean, starting in an 0-4 hole, we'll see where they end up. If they win, I would consider the season a success if they win 5 games. So there's that. Also, I wanted to bring up Texas, Florida. We'll go over this box score because this is a dandy if I've ever seen one. All that stuff that Paul Feinbaum was talking about this offseason when it pertained to Archibald Manning. 16 to 29, 263, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Lagway did throw a pick, but he was 21 to 28 for 298. Florida ran the ball really well. Verdell Brown III is going to be a ball playing Jesse when he's a junior. I think he's a 3-year kid, in my opinion, when it comes to that. Florida gets the win. They beat Texas. Texas is on their last legs, honestly. Texas is on their last legs. They have to go to Athens. And with what they've looked like on offense, I don't think I would be remiss. I would say over bettors are thrilled with this outcome at Cal and Duke. It is 28 to 21. Unbelievable. 28 to 21. Also, I will remind the number to call, 260-255-4069. It's on the ticker, and it's right next to the microphone. If you want to call, go ahead and call. So we are going to leave the lines open, but Texas drops the ball at Gainesville, loses to the Gators. We'll look at the Gators' schedule here to see what they end up at. So they lose to South Florida, LSU, Miami. They beat Texas. Do they rattle off 3 in a row before Georgia? Or 2 more in a row before Georgia? With Georgia, what happens? Because think of it this way. I'm not going to count the Gators out of any of the last teams that they play. Florida State, for all we know, could be a corpse by the time Florida plays them. They could be a corpse. That's all I'm saying. Tennessee, I think Tennessee's going to push for the playoffs as much as they can. But their schedule reads as follows. A&M, at A&M. They have Mississippi State coming to the Swamp. They got the neutral site with Georgia. They got to go to Kentucky, to Ole Miss. They have Tennessee coming to the Swamp. And they got Florida State coming to the Swamp. One of those two, Florida State or Tennessee, one of them by the end of November is going to be a corpse. Most likely could be Florida State, because I'm not saying that Thomas Castellanos is a quitter, but what I am saying is he hasn't done anything to disprove me. Like the whole stunt with Billy O. Oh, wow. They're showing highlights of the Wyoming UNLV game right now. They did get snow. I thought that was kind of a joke. Did they really block 2 punts? Man, that is a tough way to lose a game. Give up 14 points on punt blocks? Yikes. Also, the phone lines are open. 260-255-4069 is where we're at. But, yeah. They've already slotted the Georgia time. Don't know what time Mississippi State is. A&M is at 7 p.m. on ESPN. So there is that for your viewing pleasure. As we go down, Vandy, Alabama. Wow. They're showing highlights of the Penn State UCLA game. Yeah, I still don't understand the QB sneak in the shotgun, because I feel like it just never works. It didn't work for Penn State and it didn't work for UCLA. That's all I'm saying. Outstanding. But yes, if you want to call, we can talk about anything you want. Especially all you guys watching on Twitter. You can head on over too. The number one spot on my AP ballot, Brett McMurphy. No one cares. We'll be live on YouTube at midnight. Me just being small potatoes over here. One man band, one man operation is what I am, really. Okay. Vandy, Alabama. Any thoughts? Anybody? Thoughts at all? Alabama takes care of business. Diego Pavia throws ill-advised interception at the end of the game. Do I think that it is what it is, really? But Vandy gave him a game for, I don't know, almost 3.5 quarters. Gave Alabama a game. Ty Simpson, in my opinion, outside of Carson Beck, I think the top folks in the Heisman is Simpson. I can't put Mateer there because he's not healthy, and I think he's missed too much time. I think the two front runners for me for Heisman are Drew Aller just killed his Heisman stock in the proverbial cradle today. So keep that in mind for the folks at Creepy Valley. Alabama ran the ball today, and I thought that was a breath of fresh air for them. Jam Miller ends up with 136 yards on 22 carries, 6.2 yards per carry. Ty Simpson, 23 of 31 for 340 yards. Ty Simpson lit him up. I thought Ryan Williams played better. 6 catches, 98 yards. I think all the criticism, and I think the folks on the internet have criticized into him to playing better. I need to go back and watch it a little bit closer, because when you're hosting a podcast and trying to do a watch along, you don't watch as much of the game as you think when you're looking for particular things that you're looking for. So Alabama takes care of Vandy. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say Clark Lee is not at Vanderbilt next year. I think he's going to load up his bag of toys, and I think Jerry Kill and everybody at Vanderbilt, they are going to probably pick up the proverbial slack, and they are going to hit the road, Jack. Just my opinion. I think they hit the road and they're done like dinner, and they're gonzo. So there is that. But yeah, sorry about that. Number to call 260-255-4069. We'll leave it open for a little bit longer. I'm going to go down the rest of the scores, my thoughts on some of the games and what happened, and after that we'll fold up shop for the night. Maybe come back tomorrow, do NFL call-in, who knows. They're showing highlights of Cincinnati's red helmets. I think those are elite. I like the red helmets. But Cincinnati beats Iowa State today. They stormed the field. They needed that. Sherrod Moore back from his suspension, 31-21, 52 points and a half of football. Yikes. Michigan wore the old Navy today. They end up beating Wisconsin. Does Wisconsin end up 3-9? That's the question. So there is that. But Texas Tech, Houston, Texas Tech looks like they spent $40 million on their roster, to be honest. It looks like it, compared to what Houston was looking like. And then Kentucky, Georgia, Kentucky. What were you? I look at it and think to myself, what were you really expecting? What did you think was going to happen? Just whatever. So there's that. Not shocked at all, but Cincinnati beaten Iowa State. They got to do all that travel, and Cincinnati is not close to a Big 12, not even close to a Big 12 school. The Big 12 is in that region, in my opinion, from Missouri, Iowa to Nebraska and Texas. It's like that central region. That's why all those teams were there. But now the Big Ten we're from coast to coast. We're a national conference. Well, you're a national conference that's not really drawing in TV. I'll be interested to see what the number is, see what the TV ratings are for this week, to be honest. I think about that often. Did CBS just completely botch it? Yes, because they're getting crushed. The person that is losing in the new TV deal is CBS by far. It's not even close. Michigan Michigan blows the doors off of Wisconsin. Wisconsin's bad. We'll look at their schedule real quick because I guarantee you, I would like you to point me out wins. I get it; it's college football, but point me to the wins here. So after that, they have what is next Saturday's date? The 10th or the 11th. So, that could have been bad. So they have Iowa, pretty solid opponent. You have Iowa, Ohio State, Oregon, Washington, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota. Find me the win. Maybe Minnesota if PJ Fleck can't, but I don't know. I don't know. Unless Iowa doesn't pack their unless Iowa doesn't pack their offense. I mean, you have Ohio State coming to town, but I'm not buying it. I don't think Wisconsin wins another game at the end of the year. I think they end up 2-10 and they fire Fickle. I mean, it's if the Wisconsin people want to the how do I want to say the management team wants to stare at an empty stadium, I think that's what they're cruising to, because when the weather's bad and your team ain't any good, you ain't going. You might as well just watch it at home. It's free. No line for the bathroom. Beers are free. Food is free. So there's that. That's what's coming up for Wisconsin. Good luck to you. That's just kind of what it is. That's kind of like the night the lights went out in Georgia. So there is that. Notre Dame rolls Boise State, beats them by 3 touchdowns. Not a shock. Really. Notre Dame ends up with 4 interceptions on the day. I think that if you get 4 turnovers and you win by 3 scores, are you really shocked? Trying to read that. Fresno State, no O in Reno. Wow, they're showing the Wolfpack. They're bad on offense. 130th in points, yards per game, 107th. That's total yards per game. Pass yards, 122nd. Tribal Mountain Casino and Resort. Wow. We got a Tribal Mountain Casino and Resort on the field at Fresno State. And you suspend them if they gamble. Bizarre. Purdue honors their long-held tradition of not winning the week a Taylor Swift album comes out. Boston College, don't know what happened there. They got absolutely curb stomped by Pitt. I still think Pitt sucks. Just my opinion. They're a MAC school. Pitt blows. North Carolina gets blown out by Clemson. Fun fact. Kansas State loses on a blocked kick. Absolutely brutal. Very brutal, to say the least. Kind of how that's going. I'll have to watch that in a minute. So yeah, absolutely brutal. Air Force, Navy, not shocked that was closed. Army kicks UAB's ass. Just looking at it. Huh. Okay. But anyway, I got sidetracked. The V for the Valley. No O in Reno. I guess they weren't lying. Ball State gets the win over Ohio. Very fascinating. Also, I know UFC is going on right now. I really don't. My thing is with the UFC, it depends on who's on the card. That's what that is dependent on. It's card dependent, really, to be honest, for me. It's very card dependent. So, I mean, when I look at it, I just kind of think to myself, well, do I really want to watch that? I'm like, whatever. Don't care. If there's nobody that I like, John Jones fighting, yeah, I'll probably make the effort and try to go see it, but it's got to be somebody interesting. Wake Forest beats Virginia Tech. Ouch. The Deeks, kind of not the greatest. Temple. Oof. Why are those guys dressed as hot dogs on Nevada's sideline? Very interesting. These guys are dressed as hot dogs. No, I'm being serious. There's like 3 guys standing on Nevada's sideline right now in the Fresno State game dressed as hot dogs. One's ketchup, relish, and mustard. One of each. Just saying. If anybody knows, feel free to enlighten me. What a touchdown today for the Gators. Yep. Is that true? Oh no, I about closed my computer. But anyway, sorry, I got really sidetracked there. UTSA falls to Temple. Jeff Traylor should have got out while he could have. Should have took one of those jobs, but no, you wanted to stay. Okay. NC State absolutely beats the hell out of Campbell. Western kills UMass. UMass might not win a game. That's going to be an interesting watch. Oklahoma State. Sorry, Pokes fans. You might as well just give it up. It's done. Flip you over. You guys. 2 more games, I guess we'll figure out if you could maybe make a bowl, but I doubt it. I don't think you're going bowling. I think it's going to be a rinse and repeat of last year, to be honest. Maryland nearly loses they lose by 4 to Washington. Washington making the trip across the country. Jet Fish, 4-1. Northwestern absolutely kills Louisiana Monroe. Shout out to Brian Vincent. I think that's one of the worst jobs in all the Power 5 football. And he's the athletic director. I think he probably had to take being the athletic director because no one else at the school wanted it. But that would be cool. When you're the football coach and AD, you only answer to the president. So, hey, get it how you live it, man. Nicholas, Kane Nation 24-25 state champs. Yep, you are correct, sir. But also that is what we got going. Oregon State is 0-6. Yikes! They lose to Appalachian State. So we'll see. We'll see see where they end up out. Nicholas is right. Miami's the best team in the state. It holds true. Only one Florida school can be good at one time. Not all three. Only one. Syracuse gets their ass kicked by SMU. Josh Gaddis decides he wants to show up in interesting fashion by screaming at somebody on the sideline. It's like, if anybody needs yelled at, Mr. Gaddis, it would be your offense while you were at Miami, University of Miami with Tyler Van Dyke. It wasn't particularly speed and space, and you also were part of the staff that got your shit shoved in against Middle Tennessee State. So let's not forget that it was like 36-14 or something like that, and they were throwing 4 verts in the fourth quarter while up as well. So there's that. Whoa. But there's that. Florida International gets their ass kicked by UConn. JMU wins a nail biter against Georgia State. That's a conference game for them. So there's that. Akron's 2-4 right now. The Zips lighting the world on fire. Eastern Michigan is 1-5. They lose by 1 to Buffalo. Miami of Ohio starts it out 1-0. Thomas Hammock probably going to be on the hot seat, my friend. He won a fall. But he does have a win over Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium. Him and Charles Huff. Yeah, they're showing the Pavia fumble. Nebraska comes back and beats Michigan State. It was close for a while. Ark State gets a win over Texas State. There's another conference game. Coastal gets blown out by Old Dominion. I think they got depleted in the portal. The last 2 years they got depleted. I think a lot of those guys that they signed or brought in they're at other places, to be honest. Tribal Mountain Casino and Resort. Interesting. So there's that. What else do we have? UNLV improves to 5-0. UNLV 5-0. Dan Mullen 5-0. I don't know. They were talking all this shit about. I bet Dan Mullen's real happy right now. Or Florida fans, Dan Mullen's real happy right now. And it's like, okay, well, where are we at? Let me get it. There we go. Had to pull something out here. So there is that. Build ourselves a little pyramid. Also, why do they have a TV show about the girl with Tourette's? I don't get it. I'm probably going to get canceled or something like that, but I don't get it. I'm probably an asshole, but I don't get it. I don't get 99% of the reality shows. What makes the Kardashians so interesting? I don't get it. Huh. But I also don't get fashion either. Like I'm wearing a 1980s Budweiser hat. I don't give a shit, to be honest. UNLV 5-0. We'll keep the show moving and grooving. As I go down the scores. South Alabama, 1-5, Major Applewhite, not not looking the greatest, my guy. I think he'll get it turned around. Jared Parker at Troy. A lot of people were kind of like, is this gonna work? Blah 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 blah. We'll see. Liberty at UTEP on Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be watching that. Yeah, I'll be watching that. So there's that. Florida Atlantic wins over Rice. Dion and the Buffaloes fall. There's that. Also, I have my probably hour and a half, 2 hours of watching press conferences as well on top of doing this show. I mean, I could really end it at any time, but it is what it is. But also, if you want to call, get your call in. The number is on the screen, 260-255-4069. If you want to call, go ahead and hop in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There is that. Colorado Falls. Oh, yeah. I forgot Brock Osweiler on the call. Don't pull a Mark Sanchez. Don't try to enter somebody's vehicle while intoxicated. Just speculation, I guarantee you. The dude Sanchez got shit faced, and this is what I think happened. He probably got shit faced at a bar and tried to get into some rando's car that he thought it was a Uber, and the dude stabbed him. I guarantee you that's what it is. I guarantee you it's a big. If he doesn't get charged, if all the charges get dismissed, and they just kind of pretend like it didn't happen, I guarantee it's a major misunderstanding. Guarantee you. So Kansas pulls off the win at UCF, and then Tulsa gets curb stomped by Memphis. So there's that. I don't know. I've left the phone lines open long enough. Give you an hour. I will watch Duke and Cal in Fresno State in Nevada in peace. I don't know. Keep an eyeball out for Sunday. Also, before we get out of here, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us grow this channel. It really means a lot to me, Carter, and Richie, a lot of the guys that participate on the channel, that put a lot of time into it. But if you guys could do us the biggest favor and hit the like and subscribe button, it really helps us. It impacts the channel majorly because the more you guys like it, the more we get pushed out. Saturday night shows are a lot more looser than during the week. I missed a couple days this week of the show. 2 days this week I didn't have internet, and then Friday was kind of a train wreck. I had a bunch of stuff going on, but I appreciate everybody understanding. So there's that. That kid from Nevada just went for a ride. What happened here? Yep, that's what you get. All you targeting gurus that thought that was a good idea. Had a kid get ended and he landed on his head. What would have been a worse impact? Somebody going headhunting or whatever. I'm not talking about targeting no more. Can't do it. So there is that. Appreciate everybody who has came and hang out. But every Saturday night, we're gonna do the call-in show, talking ball. And I'm also gonna figure out something for college basketball. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll do this live stream format, and we'll talk about it and watch some games. But like Saturday night games would be great because everybody's got stuff to do in the afternoon. But anyway, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification so you're not missing any content. We are halfway through the season. We have a long way to go. We're going to be going all the way up until January 20th on Saturdays. I might keep the Saturday format, but we have got to see what that looks like. But I appreciate everybody. Hit the like and subscribe, and we will talk to you later.